So guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Team of the Season promotion. Now, as I'm sure most of you are already aware, there's a little event coming up in a few months, and that's called the World Cup. And due to that, Team of the Season should be coming out a little earlier in FIFA. In fact, it might only be a few short weeks away. So with all that in mind, it's time for me to start my Team of the Season predictions. Now, before we get into things fully, I want to point out that I know I'm not going to get all of these right, so if you're going to have a go at me in the comments, at least be either constructive or creative with your abuse. Thank you. Anyway, before we continue, while you are in the comments, let me know who you think will feature in the Premier League Team of the Season, and also let me know who you think I have missed out on. Also, if you could leave a like on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. So before we get into my prediction, I do need to clear some things up, because in this prediction video you're about to watch, I'm actually going to talk about 25, maybe 26 players. Now, I'm fully aware that a Team of the Season squad consists of 23 players. However, I'm predicting one or two more because a Premier League player could feature in the Team of the Season most consistent team, and also we might get a Premier League blue card released via the daily knockout tournament. If you remember last year, Sigurdsson wasn't actually in the Premier League Team of the Season, but you could win his Team of the Season card via winning the daily knockout tournament. Okay, so here we go, the goalkeepers. I've got 3 on the screen, but it is worth noting we normally only get 2 goalkeepers from a league Team of the Season. So Nick Pope, he's been absolutely outstanding for Burnley this season, but he's yet to get an inform in FIFA, so he could actually feature in one of the Team of the Season most consistent teams. Pope has been a part of Burnley's backline, which has just been so impressive this season. David De Gea is next, and where do I begin with this guy? Is he the best goalkeeper in the world right now? He probably is. He's currently in line to win this season's Golden Gloves, and once again throughout the season, he's been fantastic and has saved Man United on many occasions. The third and final goalkeeper on this page is Ederson. Now, it was a huge gamble for Man City at the start of the season to spend as much as they did on a young goalkeeper, but it's a gamble that has definitely paid off. Ederson's come in and he's fit Man City's playing style very well, and under Pep Guardiola he has been brilliant and he's made some terrific saves throughout the year, and he currently has the second most clean sheets in the Premier League. So we come on to the first page of defenders, and we're going to start with Burnley's Tarkowski. Now, like I said a few moments ago, Burnley's defence has been class this season, and Tarkowski for most part has been solid at the back for them all year. Either when partnering with Duffy or when partnering with Ben Mee, he has been brilliant. Moving on, it's fair to say that Chelsea have not had the best of seasons this year, but some of their players have been great throughout, and one of them players is Azpilicueta, who has been a mainstay in that right centre-back position for Chelsea. He's not just been good defensively, he's also been effective going forward. He scored once and he's set up 6 goals in the Premier League. Staying Chelsea related, the final centre-back on this page is former Chelsea man Nathan Ake. Now, he's featured in every Premier League game thus far for Bournemouth, and with good reason. He's been great for his side, he's got 2 goals and 2 assists to his name, and he's also been Bournemouth's Player of the Month 4 or 5 times this season. Moving on to another page of defenders, we begin with Man United's Ashley Young, who, although he's been a bit hot and cold lately, was brilliant for the majority of the season, especially at the start. Now, picking a left back was actually pretty hard. I had to choose between Ashley Young, Marcus Alonso and Andy Robertson, and that's a pretty tough choice. So I put out a poll on Twitter and most of you said Ashley Young. Man City's Nicolas Otamendi is in the middle of the page, and I think his slot in the Team of the Season is almost guaranteed, and you know, I don't think too many people are going to disagree with that because he's been fantastic for Man City. Talking of Man City, Kyle Walker is the final player on this slide. Now, maybe he hasn't stood out as much as he did last season when he was with Tottenham, but he has been constantly great for Man City. He's come in and fixed the fullback problem City previously had, and he's improved them defensively and offensively. Walker thus far has set up 6 goals this season. Let's keep rolling on. Nacho Monreal is the next player we're going to discuss. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I can tell you this season has been shit. It's been awful, and you know, I'm looking forward to next season already. But throughout this year, one player has impressed throughout, and that has been Nacho Monreal, who's just been solid in that left centre-back / left-back role. Arsenal might not deserve any blue cards this year, but if anyone does get one, it should be this man. Staying in North London, Jan Vertonghen has been at the heart of Spurs' defence this year, and he's just been consistently very good for his side. Now, I've watched a bunch of other YouTubers' predictions, and barely any of them have included Vertonghen, which I actually found quite surprising. Anyway, now we're going to head to Manchester for one final defender, Antonio Valencia. Now, this may shock some of you, but I'm actually not that confident about this one, but he has been one of the more consistent fullbacks this year, so I couldn't leave him out. We've spoken about a lot of defenders, so let's move on to the midfielders, and we're going to start with an obvious one, Kdb Kevin De Bruyne. Now, you know, I don't need to go in depth with this one, I don't need to explain it, because he hasn't just been one of the best players in the Premier League, he's been one of the best players in the world during the past season. 7 goals and 14 assists so far, and you know, he's probably going to add to those tallies before the season is finished. Another Man City player that's been class has been David Silva, who even at 32 is still ripping it up in the Premier League. 8 goals and 9 assists so far for him. He is just so damn good. He's so technically gifted too. The final player on this page is Tottenham's Moussa Dembele. Now, once again, this is a player that I haven't seen many other YouTubers include in their prediction, and I'm sat there wondering why, because Dembele has been amazing for Tottenham this year, and in my opinion, I just think he's vital to that side. He protects his team's defence and allows the attackers to attack. He's actually the kind of player that I want Arsenal to sign. I think he's been better than Dele Alli and Christian Eriksen this season, but he just doesn't get the credit they get because he isn't as prolific in scoring or assisting. But what Dembele does is he sticks to his role and he does it very well. He's been class this year. Moving on to Chelsea's Eden Hazard. Like I said earlier, Chelsea have not had a great season, but Hazard has still been performing. He's been deployed in a more central role this year and he's actually played pretty well there. He's picked up 11 goals and got 3 assists thus far. Staying in London, we have a player from Watford. The Hornets have actually had a really good season and 2 players have stood out for them in my opinion. One of them is Richarlison and the other is this man Doucouré, who, just like Dembele has for Spurs, Doucouré has sat in that midfield and just balanced the side. Doucouré has also scored 7 times and got 2 assists, and this could be a fantastic cheapish team of the season card if it does indeed happen. Okay, so next up is Leicester's Riyad Mahrez, who has had an interesting past few months to say the least. Despite falling out with Leicester and wanting to actually leave them, he's ended up remaining at the club and has actually performed very well for them. The 27-year-old has scored 10 goals and set up 8 this year. We haven't had a Man City player in a while, so let's have another. Raheem Sterling. What a season he's had. Now, he hasn't been as good lately as he was before Christmas, but he's still been great throughout the year. 15 goals and 7 assists. That is a fantastic record for a winger, and you know, he could still add to that. The season is not over. From one Man City player to another, and it's another winger. Leroy Sané has ended up being a great signing for Pep's Man City. Just like Raheem Sterling, he's contributed with many goals and assists. Sané scored 8 times and set up 11, which is mad. And with Man City's wingers having such a great attacking record, it's hard to leave any of them out really. Next up is Liverpool star man Mo Salah. Now, at the time of recording, he is the Premier League's top goal scorer with 28 goals. And he's got 7 or 8 games remaining, so he's actually got plenty of time to break the record for most goals scored in a Premier League season. The current record is held by Alan Shearer, who scored 31 in the 1995/96 season. And, you know, Salah's going to break that record, isn't he? There's too many games left for him not to. And to be fair, Salah's been the best signing of the season in my opinion. Like, I don't know if I could argue that with any other player because he's been that effective in that Liverpool side. And he actually could be the Premier League player of the year. What do you guys make of that? Let me know in the comments. There's one more player on this page and it's Spurs' Heung-min Son, who has really improved this year and has stepped up in key moments for Tottenham. He's got 12 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League. So now we come on to the final page of players, and we're going to start by talking about Tottenham's Harry Kane, who has scored 24 goals thus far. He is one of the best strikers in the world, and he is consistently showing why. This is actually the 4th season in a row where he scored north of 20 goals for Tottenham in just the Premier League. There's going to be one more Man City player in this video, and it's going to be Sergio Agero, who has scored 21 goals and got 6 assists in the Premier League this year, and that is just an incredible record. He missed a few games due to injury as well. There is no doubt in my mind that in a few weeks we're going to see a blue Agüero. Liverpool's attack this season has been scarily impressive. Mo Salah's been amazing, but so has this guy, Bobby Firmino. 14 goals and 7 assists for him. The former attacking mid has been playing really well as a centre forward for Liverpool. Well guys, there you have it. You've just seen which players I think could be getting a blue team of the season card in a few weeks' time. So, in the comments below, let me know which players you agree with and which you disagree with, and also let me know which league I should try and predict the team of the season cards for next. If you could leave a like on this video, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.